So here we are, my 20th video. It's been a lot of fun filming all these videos. I've learned a lot. Some of them have been disc tests, some have been just me figuring things out. But today I want to share with you guys 5 things that I've learned as I've gone through this process of filming and sharing disc golf. Number 1, you don't have to get it right to get better. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to nail the form and everything exactly right to make progress. Number 2, meaningful progress is most visible on the scorecard, not necessarily on how far your throw went. Disc testing has indicated that almost any disc can be the right disc depending on the day. So there isn't necessarily one perfect choice. Number 4, you definitely play better when you stop trying to worry about impressing everybody and just enjoy the game. And number 5, I've learned that people make this worthwhile. You share with them, they share right back. I've sure enjoyed that. So let's get into all these. Okay, so number 1, you don't have to get it perfect to get better. I found that as I began sharing myself throwing on camera, I got all sorts of feedback, so much feedback on my form. And I kind of freaked out and started trying to implement all of that and found that I just wasn't getting better. I was actually getting worse by trying too hard to implement everything people recommended. So at some point I, was mostly focused on distance. Couldn't get this disc to go as far as I wanted. Or maybe I got it to go far one day and it never happened again for a month or something like that. So anyway, I realized that as I let go of perfect form or trying to find it and just played and enjoyed and kept a few pointers in mind, that I naturally got better. As you can see on the plot here, I have made progress, and that's come with time. So number 2, how best to measure progress? I say real progress is measured on the scorecard. Yes, I love that distance plot I just shared. Big distance is a lot of fun. You've seen me, if you've watched my videos, throwing as far as I could down the hill in my backyard, which allows the disc to really glide farther. It's a lot of fun. But what matters most? I really thought about this recently when I played around with my dad a couple weeks ago. He's 75. He has one disc that he likes. It's the Leopard. It's pretty well beat in. And he played with that as his only disc. No putter, nothing. He putted with the driver. And he's been playing a year. I can throw much farther than him. But on that round, he got 1 over par, and I got 1 under par. My longest drive on that round was about 330. His longest drive on that round was 200. And all with 1 disc. He scored really well, and that was actually his best score ever on that course. We've played it many times over this past year. Last year playing that same course, he was getting 15 over par. So huge progress in a year for him. And as you can see in this plot I'm sharing, this is my progress on score over 3 of my favorite courses that I play the most. These are the scores I've gotten on my rounds on UDisc over the last over a year now, since March of 2024. And as you can see, on average, I'm improving. I'm going down by about 1 throw per 3 months. Doesn't sound like a lot, but I started out at about 3 over par, and now I'm ending up around 2 or 3 under par in general on average. Sometimes better, sometimes worse, but you can definitely see that trend. And anyway, Watch that scorecard. Trend what you do. Pay attention to it. You're probably doing better than you think. And distance isn't everything at all. It's fun, but real progress, I feel like, is how that scorecard changes, because you want your whole game, not just your distance, to improve. Just like that. And a beautiful parked shot with the elm. Sometimes it just goes where it should. It's a good feeling. Okay, next. Any disc, pretty much, can be the disc. The one that's best for you and for your game, depending on the day. I've done all these disc tests, mostly looking for what disc is best for different slots in my minimal bag over the last several videos. And I've found that that's always very subjective and dependent on the day and which disc I just happen to get that ideal release and direction on. So you can see I've got laid out here all of my discs I've tested. Well, a lot of them, not quite all of them. For each of the 5 slots in my minimal bag. Sure, I've ended up with the ones in front there as my preferred discs, but all the other ones are awesome, okay? And I've had good days with pretty much all of them, and bad days with pretty much all of them. One thing I did was a test with my drivers I have. I got the new Fission Trail and wanted to compare it to the Neutron Trail, and then I threw in the River, all of which have been max distance drivers for me at some point or the other. So anyway, I threw all 3 a few times. I'm sharing one of the times here. The Trail, Neutron Trail, and the River only went 290 with this flat ground throw, but they landed right on top of each other. It's kind of cool. And then the Fission Trail went 320. A little bit farther, more in the correct direction than I was aiming. Just cool to see what you can do, but you don't get the expected result every time. It just depends on the day. And yeah, like I say, getting that ideal release and direction. And that consistency comes with time and practice. So yeah, don't give up on all your pile of discs. It's fun to go back to them, test them out, and see how they're performing on a new day. Next, you play better when you stop trying to impress people. That definitely applies if you're filming yourself and sharing it on YouTube. I kind of alluded to this earlier with progress. You know, both types of progress, in distance as well as in score on the scorecard, have improved over time as I've stop worrying about perfect throws and long distances and so forth. It's fun. It's most fun when you just have a good time and you aren't taking it overly seriously, right? In my recent video, I shared some screw-ups. I just played one hole and it was pretty much all screw-ups, but it was still fun. Had to do a couple of warm-up shots into the tree, and that's not how I play every time, but I'm a normal person and I am not a professional. And yes, I will throw it into the tree multiple times in a row. I'll hit the band on the basket or completely airball the putt, and sometimes my goats get in the way of filming things. Uh-oh, no. No, Leo. Come on, let's go. Come on. Anyway, doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to impress anybody. And honestly, it's more relatable when you can see that somebody is not perfect and maybe has the same struggles that you do. So I feel like that's something that I'm learning and, you know, enjoying the game more as a result, because I I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to have a good time. Okay, last point I want to make that's been absolutely awesome as I've started doing this journey on YouTube. People make this all worthwhile. I've truly enjoyed what you have to share with me, how much you give back to me as I share and you make comments. I do appreciate the forum suggestions and so forth I alluded to earlier. I'm just not going to overdo it, trying to implement everything all at once, like I was trying to do for a while there. But it's really been meaningful to hear about your experiences, your takes on what disc golf is for you, especially over 40. It's awesome to hear that over 40 crowd. Because I think we have a little bit different view and purpose, maybe. You know, we're not in this to become a professional. We're in this because we love it, we enjoy it. It's awesome for mental health and stress, and it's awesome for a small amount of exercise that you have a lot of fun while doing. So I appreciate all your sharing with me and just enjoying, you know, thinking through all these tests and so forth that I've done, what discs work for you, what don't. Fun to take your suggestions, sometimes implement them. If I could buy all the discs you suggest, that'd be awesome. There's a lot. But thank you, truly, thank you for showing up alongside me in these videos and being part of this process of enjoying and improving in disc golf. So thanks to everybody who's watched or commented or maybe just recently found this channel. I'm still figuring things out. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. But I'm enjoying this, and it's certainly made better with people like you. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. We'll see you next time.